What's good, y'all? Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, they just got done with their two press conferences in LA and New York. I think them the only two cities that they doing for a tour before the fight. And both fighters look like they getting ready. They look like they almost ready. It don't look like Spence gonna miss weight. No, none of that. And during the press conference, nothing that either of these guys said surprised me. They pretty much said what their fans say. You know, it's funny how they say that the fans don't know nothing about boxing, and you can't say nothing about boxing unless you've been in the ring. But the fighters, they get out there in the press conference in front of millions of people and say the exact same thing that these fans that know nothing. They say the same exact thing. You know, that don't really make sense to me. So yeah, though the press conference, you could say it was kind of dry a little bit. It didn't look like a lot of people was around. It didn't look like they let a lot of people in. But Errol Spence, he plans on breaking Crawford down. He feels like wearing him down, and he's gonna stop him. He say hopefully he don't break his face too bad. And we all have kind of an idea what the fight most likely will look like because Errol Spence pressure and style and Terrence Crawford countering style, it's gonna mesh for a good fight. Great fight. You know what I mean? Both of these guys can take a punch and if they did get hurt, they know how to survive. So I it's a big chance that it goes to decision. And I'm surprised that fans from both sides they're mostly calling for the stoppage. Terrence Crawford he stopped 10 straight opponents. Errol Spence he stopped Jordanis Ugas in his last fight. Somebody who's never been stopped before. So it's starting to look like two knockout artists coming into it. They both got over 60% knockout rate. So maybe Crawford's face could get broken. You know what I mean? What if Crawford's face is broken in like the eighth or ninth round? Will he still continue to fight? Or will he, you know, throw the towel in or take a knee? Like, we don't know. We never seen either of these two really in like a bad situation like that. Like hurt. Like Crawford, he had a little stanky leg like for like a half a second against Gamboa. You know what I mean? I think Earl's fans be trolling him with that little meme of Gamboa hitting him, but he wasn't hurt that long. And Earl, I don't think he's ever really been hurt like that ever. Only thing I really seen of him is the Emmanuel Larte. He caught him with a left hand, backed him up for a second, had made him think. And I think Danny Garcia had woke him up a little bit in the 10th round. But he was dominating that fight, and he kind of fell asleep at the wheel. And he had low stamina, it looked like, in that fight. So neither of these guys really been hurt. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to pick a stoppage either way. But the likelihood of Spence breaking Terrence Crawford's eye, I think it's kind of low. But if Bud But if Bud stands in front of Spence too long and exchange too much, maybe it could happen. You know, Earl could stun you too. You know, he knocked Porter down with a clean left hook on the inside. But Terrence Crawford, he seems like the bigger puncher. But a lot of people a few people, Brooke and Porter, say that Spence is actually the bigger puncher. So we gotta see. You know, Spence feel like he's finna go in there and stop Bud.